there, my Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate read for November-ish 2019. Whenever I'm doing a monthly, and it's almost halfway through or a week or so late, I'm a Virgo sun, all right? That I'm like, so it's ish. Well, and time is so fluid, really. Consider the quantum, my darling. If you are new to my channel, I am your reader for the moment, Rosie O'Donnell. No. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and damn happy to be here. Damn happy to be doing these reads. I am a Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, Leo Rising, Venus, Libra and Venus. So I just did the Leo. Now I'm doing the Virgo. Next I'm doing the Libra. At least I get a break until I hit Pisces, because every time I'm like, please don't have me mirrored in this reading, they're like, ha. I'm like, oh no, yeah, I welled up at the end of the Leo one. I was like, oh, Pisces Moon, honey. And Leo Rising. I don't have a problem expressing my emotions. Duh. Billie Eilish. So welcome. If you are new, please do like and subscribe. I'm trying to make my way to 1,000+ subscribers so that I can do super live chat. And my promise is, once I get there, once a month for at least a couple of months, we'll see how that goes, I will do what's called Drunk Tarot. Now, I never drink when I'm working, right? I get invited to parties. I'm actually doing a party out in Mauritius on Sunday for 4 people. That's 4 hours of reading. I'm getting paid really well for it. And they're going to be like, do you want a drink? I'm like, not unless you want Virgo laser tongue readings, right? You know, like, no. It doesn't at all take away my clarity, which is odd, but not, because I'm a Dionysus archetype. So a little wine, right, in vino veritas. No. It takes away the diplomacy. It takes away the filter. But I thought it might be fun for a super live chat if everybody knows that going in, right? It's like not for the weak at heart, right? So please do like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bells. I'm putting out as much stuff as I can. With these longer reads, I'm trying to do like 3 or 4 a day, but like I did the first 2, which I guess would be Cancer and Leo, and then my guides are like, go take a nap. I woke up 2 hours later. I was like, what? They're like, you were busy in the other world. I was like, oh, okay. Fine-tuning, I guess, getting me ready for y'all. So, welcome. And to my subscribers, thank you so much. We're going to have a party, I have a feeling. But a couple of things first. Exposition. If anybody wants to put in a timestamp of when the actual reading starts, that's fine. But I think, people who are new to the channel watching me for the first time need a couple of things, because I don't read like everybody else. Nobody reads like anybody else. But here we go. This is a general reading. Meaning that it's not gonna click for everybody, although when I bless the cards before I hit record, I really ask that, these decks be a channel of divine guidance and grace for the well-being of all, so that whoever watches it gets something out of it. But don't try and make it fit, right? Particularly Virgos, don't overthink it. Go with your gut. Now, that's great, Virgo, because we're ruled by the intestines, right? We're an earth sign. Don't forget, we're an earth sign. Yes, ruled by Mercury. But ground, center, what does your body say to you, right? Because intuition really does manifest itself physically in the lower chakras. I know everybody wants to put it up here in the third eye, and yeah, that's a voice, one voice of intuition. But what about that second chakra, particularly in a soulmate contract? You got to listen to that second chakra when it goes, or I'm also clearing out a head cold. So please do check your other signs, right? I was told for these and for the twin flame reads to take as long as it takes, to not rush them, but also to breathe. We'll get to that before we dive in. General read, soulmates. Okay, so my definition of soulmates completely changed. I used to hate the word, like for decades. I think, soulmates, because it really felt like some sort of like spiritual codependency, like you need this person in order to do this or that and this or that. And I'm like, my shiny mystic ass, no thanks, right? Then came along a video by Matt Kahn, spiritual teacher, West Coast, Hay House author. His YouTube channel is All for Love. Matt Kahn, he's amazing, and he did one called Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined, and just I'm like, that's what was missing. So I also did my own video on the subject called Clarifying Twin Flame Soulmates and True Lovers, because the True Lovers contract, or maybe it's a subclause in one of the other two types of contracts, that's my own download. And they're like, nope, you've known this your whole life. This is your gift to the world. I'm like, oh, okay. But let's talk about soulmates. You have more than one. You have hundreds of soulmates in each lifetime. Both twin flame and soulmate are soul contracts, pre-incarnational agreements that you make with other souls before coming in. It's written into the script and the character because you're a soul that is chosen to play the role, right? So my soul was chosen to play the role of Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. And so you have soulmate contracts that are satisfying, that are sweet, that are symbiotic, that are sympathetic, and you help each other heal. They can't all be, if you have hundreds of soulmates, they can't all be romantic, sexual, right? So it's family members. My mom is my soulmate, Hera, as I like to call her, because she really is. She married Zeus, my stepfather, good Jewish lawyer from Long Island. Now living up literally on top of a mountain in Saratoga. When they fit the myth, right? Myth, yes. Little Muppet movie for you there. Yeah, I'm a Gen Xer. Can you tell? Purple hair? Maybe not. So this is about looking at one soulmate contract in your life, the most important one. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, what else? There was something else. There's something else. There's something else. Oh, we're going to be doing Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine with the Caroline Myss archetype cards. And like every other reader says, we're not talking about bodily gender. We're talking about energetic dynamic, spiritual energetic dynamic, divine energetic dynamic, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. We all have both within us. I tend to be predominantly Divine Feminine. Not a shock. But, you know, put me around my mother when she's in full-on Hera mode, Divine Feminine, I become the prince. Yeah. So that's Divine Masculine archetype, right? So, you know, that switches around. So these first two cards down will give you an idea of the archetypal pattern, the soul power being developed that you're helping each other heal in this soulmate contract. Cool, cool. Last piece. Please remember to breathe. It is so important for me, at least even with the head cold, to like breathe and slow down, because I notice it with other readers too. I do it all the time. I talk fast. I am a soul path number 3 communicator. Holy fuck. I'm a spiritual teacher. I've been reading cards since I'm 12. I'm verbal. Oral fixation much? I don't have a gag reflex. TMI, I know. But if you're used to me at this point, you're laughing. So to breathe, to slow down, to inhale everything we need consciously or unconsciously from the divine, right? To fortify every cell and to exhale anything that is ready to go, anything that doesn't serve, right? Like in with the oxygen, out with the carbon dioxide. In with the good energy, out with the bad energy. Except at the end of the day, there's no such thing as good or bad, positive or negative, because fifth dimensional unity consciousness, but let's save that for another time. Breathe. See what I mean? And then you relax. Relaxation, Virgos, is how we know. How we know we're in alignment, right? If we're stressed, it's the ego has taken control, and that's okay. But to just breathe, right? Come back into the present moment. Slow it down. Slow our roll. And watch the movie of your life. Cool, cool. Let's dive in. Here we go. Oh, thank you. All the decks I read are in the description box below at the very bottom, but all the decks that I read, I don't use all of them in every reading, obviously. But as you scroll down, my 2 ebooks, there are links there for my 2 ebooks, Spell Ingredients and Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. The third one is with my editor right now. It's probably got like 2 more edits to go, so it probably won't be out till next year. But also my Vimeo classes are on there, especially the ones for the Path of True Love, which were a hoot to do. I only did 5. I could have done like another 100 of them, but the gods were like, nope, that's good, stop there. So you can go watch if you like. Cool, cool. Here we go. Breathe. My collective pantheons. of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for the divine feminine in this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. Please, one for the divine feminine. What's she up to? Ooh, the warrior. The warrior archetype. That's so Wonder Woman. But I wouldn't know. Gal Gadot, Linda Carter, blessed be, blessed be. Let me read that for you. Every archetype has a shadow and a light side. The shadow is anything that you wouldn't want anybody to know about, right? The shadow, embracing the shadow. Look, I'm a witch. I'm not going to call myself a shaman because at this point that feels like cultural appropriation, but I've been to the underworld so many times. I own rental property now. In fact, my home in Holbrook in the mountainous region. In the lovely mountainous region of Long Island. There are no mountains on Long Island, just at the highest point. I named my house Elysia after the Elysian field, sort of the spa section of the underworld, and I love it. I'm very comfortable in the underworld now because I've gotten to love and embrace my shadow by loving what arises within me, letting it scream, letting it cry. The wrath, the deadly sin of wrath that has poured through me over the past 2 weeks, but I didn't act on it. Why? Because you don't let the shadow possess you, right? So that's a little quickie alchemical shadow embracing lesson there, spiritual teacher. So let me read you the shadow attribute of the warrior. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted by others. Now, indifference to suffering inflicted by others is lack of empathy, so that's narcissism, right? It's like we're seeing narcissists explode left, right, and center by healing it within ourselves, right? It is a shadow power. I call it the demon narcissus. There's only one of them, but they're woo! And we're all narcissistic as children and teenagers, right? So I think I'm going to win at every cost and just damn them all. Well, then that's very third-dimensional ego consciousness, because unity consciousness is like, but we're all one, right? Look, I'm a witch. I'm not a Wiccan, but I still adopt the Wiccan read, and I'll tell you why. Quantum physics, right? Once you get that, once you get the unity of it all, you're like, oh, so my emotional toxins are being mirrored in the oceans being filled with toxins and plastic artificial things that are in our emotional field, right? So it's like, do your part, right? Clean it up. So that's the shadow attribute. And this soulmate relationship, then, it means that this contract, whatever it is to help you alchemize that. The light attribute, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. Now, I'm not all about conquering the ego. I'm about assimilating the ego, right? Loving the ego, integrating the ego, because it is the virus in the computer for all of humanity. That as one of us heals that, it makes it easier for everybody else, right? And by the way, heroism, you know what the opposite of heroism is? Villainism. So sometimes you gotta choose hero, villain. Which do I want to be? Now I know Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. The word Mal means evil, and I used to be. Woo! That name. But now, you know, I'm a fucking fifth-dimensional superhero witch. Yeah, you'd be surprised the shit I can do, but not on camera. I'd have to change my entire website. Let's get one for the divine masculine, shall we? I hope you're laughing. Breathe. Again, please forgive me, the coughing. Oh, change of seasons, man. Virgos, though, aren't we just really connected to the change of seasons? It's like the second it gets cold, touch a doorknob, scratch your nose, you got a thing. Odd. So here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card to represent the divine masculine in this Virgo collective. Oh, there you are. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract for November 2019. The lover. The warrior and the lover. Now, let's not jump to any conclusions, right? The lover archetype doesn't mean this is necessarily romantic, but I have a feeling it is. Why? Because I'm a Virgo and so are you. The shadow attribute, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. I once had a guy buy me so many gifts within the first 2 weeks. Like, at first I was like, oh, that's so sweet, but it kept escalating. Like, bought me, like, not just jewelry, but, like, a ring and stuff. And it was just like, whoa, right? There was something obsessive there that I realized I was being used like a drug. Now, probably a covert narcissist, and looking back, I could probably find evidence of that. Looking back, you can probably find evidence of anything. But I've had a crap load of them in my life, because I'm a true empath, right? So if you know anything about narcissism, covert or otherwise, you know the tea on that. So just like, so you could have two narcissists here, or, because we all have that within us, right? You know, and it's not that they're horrible people. They're souls that incarnated with these really hard contracts, right? So to help each other heal through that in a soulmate relationship can be truly a blessing, not just upon the two of you, but upon all of life, right? Because until you have empathy, once you have empathy, and I don't just mean the intuitive skill of empathy, like I'm a clairvoyant empath, but like just normal, regular human empathy, there's no way you could torture an animal, right? Or even be cruel to somebody. Yes, possessed by the shadow, we can do all sorts of crazy shit, right? So there's a touch of that in here, that true empathy. So let me read you the light, the gold you're shooting for. Great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. So need not be romantic, but let's have a look-see-dooksy. Because the warrior and the lover, which is just an ancient story, how far back do you want to go? Look at your mythologies, your fairy tales, your whatever, that there's a warrior and a lover. Once upon a time, there was a warrior and a lover. And sometimes you look at them, some of those stories, you go, holy fuck, that's where I'm in that one, right? Happens. Archetypes, stories, they are. Go tune in. It's on Netflix, isn't it? The Joseph Campbell, Power of Myth, all about the hero's journey and all that stuff. Go check it out. You'll see what I mean. It's like we fall into these grooves, these archetypal patterns, these stories in our lives. We think we're the only ones going through it. And I'll tell you one thing, from watching all these different YouTubers, readers, I'm like, everybody's going through this shit one way or another, right? So, back to biz here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at that warrior and that lover as the two main energies, right? It's the two of you. You will know at some point whether or not you are the divine masculine or the divine feminine in this by what's happening in your body, right? And if you get kicked in the gut, don't thumbs down. Just keep listening, because it's probably something you don't want to look at, but you were brought to this reading to look at. What we're going to do is we're going to take 5 cards from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. The element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit. I have a Mal vlog that I did last year or the year before on it, because it is my favorite quickie spread, but we're going to do 2 of them, one for the divine feminine with this deck, one for the divine masculine with the mythic tarot. Cool. Let's do this. Breathe. My goddesses, please. Oh, hi. My goddesses, please. Top 5 cards, element spread for the divine feminine in this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate relationship for November-ish 2019. Please, top 5 cards. Fire, what does she want? Earth, what does she have? The fuel to feed the fire. Air, what does she think? Water, what does she feel? And spirit, what is the overview? Riffle shuffle, 3 cuts. And clean cut, please. Maiden, mother, crone. Maiden, mother, crone. Lovely. So for this really, what's a divine feminine warrior if not Wonder Woman? I wouldn't know. Except I know I make the best coffee, for me at least. What does she want? Sagittarius, she wants change. She wants transformation. It's the cauldron of Cerridwen. Cerridwen, tomato. Never met a goddess that wanted to kill me because I couldn't pronounce a name. They tend to be divine beings and all. So it's a Sagittarius energy. It literally says on the card Sagittarius. So a court card, and yes, this can be about a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Uranus, whatever. But what I'm getting here is that this is the type of passion and energy and transformation that she's wanting in this soulmate contract. What does she have? The element of earth, like the wax and the wick that fuel the flame of the candle. What has she got? Loyalty for days. 3 of Wands. Willing to work diligently. Willing to wait, but wait in that sense of, you take the time that you need. I'm going to be loyal to myself and my path and do my stuff. Because ain't that us, Virgo? It's like, you do you. I'm going to build an empire until you're ready. And Virgos, we are the Hermit card. We are just like, whoop, whoop, that's okay. I got me. We're the only sign that crosses its legs. Yes. Vesica Pisces. Vesica Virgo. What is she thinking? What's the element of air? You need air for fire to happen. The Gemini. So she's thinking about a Gemini. So, oh, interesting. We've got Sagittarius and Gemini. Opposites on the zodiacal wheel. So, which also means a lot of mercurial thinking. Mercury is in retrograde. Both Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. So there's a lot of thought, perhaps repetitive thought. But for a warrior archetype, in the shadow, that can be really horrible. In the light, it can be like, okay, strength, discipline, skill, heroism, right? Stoicism, loyalty, honor. It's like, no, I have to do this, I have to do this. But very well could also be thinking about someone with a Gemini placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Uranus. You've got feces in Uranus. It's such an old joke. I didn't make that joke. An astrologer told me that joke. I peed myself. What is she feeling? The Phoenix, the Death card, feels more like rising from ashes rather than going to them, but we are in sound tide. So probably a little bit both. Sort of like, you know, go to ashes at night, wake up rising from them. Seems to be a lot of that going on. You've been watching the news. So there's an emotional transformation here. So though not the card of would be Coyote Woman in this deck, or oppression. So not so much the alchemy, but the crucifixion and resurrection, right? The death and the rebirth, the erosion and the renewal. That process of rising through the element of fire, the element of transformation. Because, you know, you can release something by air, it might blow back. You can release something to water. You could scoop it out and dry it off. You could purify something by the element of earth, right? Like stick it in salt or stick it in the ground. You could still dig it up, but you can't unburn something. You can trust me with cookies. You can't. My family likes them really like burnt. I'm like, can we get something a little crunchy on the outside, squishy, just like me? A little crunchy on the outside, squishy on the inside. Virgo, Pisces, Moon. So what is the overview here? Celebration. This is the card of judgment. All right. And I know you probably can't see the card as clearly, but if you Google it online, Daughters of the Moon, the card Celebration, it looks like these women are like, you know, on a woman gathering, circle dancing, right? You know, celebrating under the moon. But then if you look again, something is revealed. They are standing on the belly of the Great Mother. The pubic mound is in the background. The breasts are in the foreground. The hills on the side are the thighs. You sort of get the picture here, and they're dancing around her navel, right? So something is revealed. A judgment is made. So considering the Divine Feminine has 2 major arcana cards here, the Death card / Phoenix, and the Judgment card / Celebration, that there is something about the pieces of the puzzle coming together for forward movement, but as a result of emotional death and rebirth. Now, again, this is a collective read, so for some of the Divine Feminines, I don't know which you are, right? Because we're going to have some Divine Feminines watching this, some Divine Masculines watching this, but just know in the Divine Feminine, breathe, there is an emotional transformation happening, right? A transmutation led into gold through the crucible of this soulmate relationship. Tricky shit. Let's ask the gods then, shall we? Oh, it's getting hotter in here. I'm wearing cashmere. It's cold outside. Breathe. Gone all non-linear. Oh, there goes Mark. He's gone all non-linear again. My gods, please. Elemental spread top 5 cards for the Divine Masculine in this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. Please, top 5 cards, element spread for the Divine Masculine here. Thank you, my gods. Dionysus sits in the throne. A Virgo for me. Sun, Father, Sage. We're not doing reversals. Not for these. I'll be here forever. What does the Divine Masculine Lover archetype want? Ace of Wands. Another sign got this. I forget which one it was. It might have been Leo, actually. Got the Ace of Wands. This is Zeus holding the Ace of Wands, giving the quest to Jason, of Jason and the Argonauts, to get the Golden Fleece and retrieve it. So, the Divine Masculine here wants a new beginning, but a new beginning of passion, a decision, a clarity of, I want this. Now, what do they want? Well, this is in the relationship between the two. So probably wants a new passionate beginning with the Divine Feminine. Now, looking at her, I don't know that she's so ready for that, but she's at the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Flames in her element of Earth. So she may be waiting on this. But with that emotional transformation and celebration, revelation, he's going to probably have to come to her. Just saying, right? So the Divine Masculine, then what's his element of Earth? What's he got? He's got the Star. He's got hope that no matter what has gone on in this relationship, that he will be able to follow his guidance, his grace, his gods, his angels. The grace of hope. I wrote this book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It was inspired by the work of Carolyn Mace in Defying Gravity, and the work of Saint Teresa of Avila. That graces are mystical substance. So I start the book with 3 graces, and then there are a crap ton more in there. The grace of humility, the grace of hope, and the grace of endurance. Maiden Mother Crone. Maybe give you the finger, I really didn't. So the Mother Grace, the grace of hope. Oh, great Goddess, please bless me with the Mother Grace of hope, that I alone do nothing, but that with the divine all things are possible. And that somehow this is all part of the divine plan, right? So that grace of hope, it's the golden thread through the labyrinth and the mysteries of life, right? It's like we have to follow that. So easy to give up hope, and perhaps this Divine Masculine had, but has regained their hope. As much as people say the Sun card is the happiest card in the deck, I feel like the Star really is the more spiritual, probably the most spiritual, because hope is a gateway. And hope, if you're waiting for evidence to have hope, it's not the point. It's not hope at that point, right? It's just a wish, right? It's like, oh, is that true? I wish, I hope, not the same thing. Hope is that there is a larger thing going on here than you can see, right? Just different from faith. It's a different grace. Another conversation at another time, but I like that. I like that the Divine Masculine Lover here, a lover archetype, would have that hope that somehow, I hope someday my warrior archetype will come. Disney, what have you done to us? What are they thinking? All right, they're thinking 8 of Pentacles. I'll put in the work. Are you sure this wasn't in? This feels very, very similar to a reading I either did yesterday or today. I am so non-linear time-wise when I do these. I don't know. But really, 8 of Pentacles. Working in the coal mine, going downtown now, right? Just putting in the work. Willing to put in the work here, right? And work is on his mind, but Divine Masculines is always work on their mind. Inner or outer, usually outer. oh my God, but what I feel for that, it's like, no, I'll do what's necessary. Just let me keep working, let me keep working, because it does feel like he knows that perhaps the divine feminine ain't ready for any shit right now, right? So you better come correct, come clean, come correct. What is he feeling here? Five of Wands, he's conflicted. As much as he wants the Ace of Wands, this clear approach, right? This clear impetus to initiate, to take the new journey. Emotionally, he's got to face his dragons. There is Jason of Jason and the Argonauts fighting a dragon to get the golden fleece. So victory is possible here, but you got to face your own demons, your own dragons. You know, you look at Arthurian well, I want to say romantic legend, but romantic more than just romance. I mean, like that whole era, right? Like Camelot and all of that. When they had to slay dragons, I don't think they were literally killing reptilian beings. I think that was about the descent into the underworld, facing their demons and slaying them. Well, now we have therapy. Now we have Louise Hay. Oh, bless her soul, right? Now we have spirituality. We don't have to, you know, take up our bed, leave our family, change our name, and walk across a desert to get some insight, right? We can get them on our phones. So, yeah, totally conflicted here. Want to, but there is more than just a conflict. There's an inner battle going on here. So it's so interesting, wanting to put in the work mentally, but emotionally, conflicted. Sounds like a divine masculine, doesn't it? Us divine feminines, we're like, I know what I feel. And if I'm feeling conflict, give me a day or two, right? Spirit, what's the overview here? The Hierophant, Chiron. All right, Chiron, the wounded healer. That there is some spiritual healing that is going on here. The Spirit card is the overview, right? It's like to look at the rest of the spread through that lens. That there is a healing going on here, but it is a healing that is procedural, structural, and Virgo's freaking like that. So if you're a Virgo divine masculine with this lover archetype, yeah, this conflict, there is healing available for you, but that's what all of this is about. In other words, it's not like the two of you are going to be together and then live happily ever after. What a soulmate contract is that you have your own shit to deal with, but so does everybody. So as you heal your own independently, you are clearing it for all of humanity. Because I don't think my cat, well, cats do have a touch of narcissistic personality disorder, but I love them anyway, right? Or whatever, right? Emotional baggage, fear, lead, call it shadow, we all have shadow, right? We're all in that process of imploding shadow and light through integration. But then this is about helping each other heal stuff, even some of the worst toxic stuff that ordinarily you'd say like, fuck that. I'm not dealing with that shit. Get thee to a therapist, right? And perhaps I think everybody should. I went to therapy. She saved my fucking life. Best thing she ever did. She said, Mark, you're not crazy. You're just in a crazy situation. And I said, can I have that signed, like a permission slip to show people? And she pointed to her diploma on the wall from Columbia. She was a PSYD, right? Psychological doctor. And she said, I say you're sane. I was just like, where's YouTube when we need it? That shit recorded. Best thing I ever did. Haven't spoken to her since 2002, right? Everybody should have some kind of therapeutic process in their life. And certainly with the Hierophant, it's step by step, it's procedural, but then there is something higher power, divine, mystical going on here. The lover archetype ain't no joke. I have the lover archetype, but it's not in my lifelong chemistry. It comes and goes with other archetypes backing them up. So I have an intense love for cooking, right? I love to cook, right? And I love doing these videos. I'm so passionate. So you can see how that can get out of hand, and yet how that can be what heals everything, because it is. Love what arises. Go read Matt Kahn. Go watch his videos. You'll see what I mean by that. That's why I don't necessarily need to, do classes on that stuff. I'll say, just go watch him. He's better at it. He's younger than me, and he's funnier than I am. Blessed be. He's cute. He's straight. Thank God. That's all I need, is to be in a romantic entanglement with another spiritual teacher. God help me. So now that we've got these graphed out, breathe, we are going to clarify again with one of my favorite new decks that I got at the Mystic Moon in Saratoga Springs. Go say hi. Tell them Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short said hi. If you're in the area. The Whispers of Love Oracle. I'm glad to see other readers using it because it really is delightful. So this is the voices of the higher selves of all involved, right? So please breathe and call in your higher self so that you can hear this, whether you are the divine feminine or the divine masculine. Here we go. Breathe. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for the divine feminine in this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. What say you for this divine feminine warrior archetype? Love endures. This did just come up in the last reading. The divine masculine had it. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So I get that really matches with that Three of Flames, that loyalty, though she was going through a massive emotional death and rebirth. That Sagittarius, that Crone of Flames, that Kirwidwin, wants this transformation, wants this mutable fire in this, wants this relationship to be purified by fire, right? You know, brought into its higher manifestation, right? As a true, you know, contract. This is feeling really romantic, sexual. And there's some fire going on here too. There's, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 fire cards. All right, let's get from the higher selves of from the higher selves of the divine masculine here. The higher selves of all concerned, please, one card in clarity, a whisper of love for the divine masculine. In this Virgo collective, you feel so sweet. The Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for November-ish 2019. I love saying the ish. What's the whisper of love for this lover archetype? Like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. I'm almost positive that this is the same card that the divine feminine got. I'm pretty sure this is like the reverse mirror in some ways of the Leo reading. Welcome to Mercury retrograde, folks. So like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, I'm sorry I did not show you the card, right? I don't know, did I show you this one? I've gone non-linear, darling. It happens a lot when I'm reading my own placements. Love endures and like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. Lover archetype. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you, we have to do this in the traditional sense then of divine feminine and divine masculine. The divine feminine is doing the yin, right? She's yin to it, right? She's transforming herself, loving herself, becoming more and more. The love within her, of course it endures because love is eternal, which does not mean for all of time. It means timeless, outside of time. The truth of who we are. Like attracts like. The divine masculine here has got to really resolve their inner conflict by being more loving, and then extend to this divine feminine. Just saying. Wow, it's coming through very, 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 very clear. But now, the tickle in the tushy, so to speak. One Journey of Love Oracle card. Now, I got this deck also at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs. Not at the same time as I got the Whispers of Love. This is the last time I went up to visit Zeus and Hera on the mountain. Oh, I told it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. That Mal is back in town, yes. It's a great deck. I love it, but I have not memorized it. I don't think I ever will. Why? Because author Alana Fairchild, artist Rasuli, and poet Richard Cohn, C-O-H-N, I hope I'm putting that together in the right sequence, respectively, have made such a genius thing here. So, I'm going to read it from the book, and I have a pretty decent reading voice. I always got asked to read in school. I really should be doing voiceover work. My God's God, set that up. You want me to do voiceover work, send the opportunity. But you know I ain't got time. No, I ain't got time to start a whole new career within this new career unless it's divinely guided. So, excuse me, just how we started with the Caroline Myss archetype deck with the collective pantheons, we do the same with the Journey of Love, and I do suggest you breathe. The Leo one brought tears to my eyes, and I nearly cried off my mascara and eyeliner, but thankfully you couldn't see it because I was doing the overview with the picture of the spread. Compose yourself, Virgo. Cross your legs. Breathe. Oh. My collective pantheons, of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. One Journey of Love oracle card for this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, sign, soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. Please, one to clarify and finish this read. Her Grace. Yes, Your Grace. Downton Abbey flashback. Oh, I saw the movie. It was so good. My date had to bail, so I fucking went by myself, Virgo. Her Grace. Her Grace. So that's card 17. 7 and 1 makes 8, usually a number of solidity and manifestation. So let me read that one for you. Sorry, I went too far. They're only like a page. They're not huge, although the writing is a teeny tiny. And if I stare at the light on the camera, then I have to like go like this. Breathe. The goddess is awakening within your life. It may be within your own body, within a sensual deepening of relationship with your own body or with the body of another, through expanding creativity, a sudden burst of feeling that you cannot logically explain, a desire to move, to dance, to express yourself, to sing, to write music, to draw, to play in nature, to swim and collect shells and lie on your back in the moonlight, gazing at the stars. Virgo perspective, that is a very long run-on sentence. Just saying. Grammar witch. Let her reach you. She is calling to you from ancient times, calling you to allow her to be more deeply into your life. Celebrate the divine feminine, because we're amazing. She is coming to life for you. Whether man or woman, your life is about to be touched by her magic, never to be the same again. That's like the meaning of the card, now the oracular description. This oracle brings you a message. There is a woman who brings divine blessings into your life who is trying to connect with you more deeply. The blessings may be one that is obvious or one that is hidden in a challenge. The woman may be your own body if you are a female, or your own inner feminine if you are male. It may be a spiritual or a physical being, the great mother, your lover, your sister, your dearest friend. It may be a woman as yet unknown to you, but who holds a soul contract with you. An agreement predestined to awaken you. The empowerment will come to you, not by rejecting what is offered by this feminine presence, but by embracing it and finding your truth through it. This is exciting because it means you are growing. You are entering into the feminine temple of wisdom and finding a home there. That's totally this reading. Though they're doing it separately, they need to get their shit together. Ready for the poem? I have never read it before. Here goes, right? I have the Kleenex ready. Sorry, tissues. I shouldn't say brand-specific product unless I'm being sponsored. Overtone purple for brown hair. Sponsor me. I'll get free shit. Breathe. Oh my God, the first line. I was born long before our time, and yet my time with you is something new. For you awaken in me a spirit that was longing for release, waiting for your touch. I thought I was safe, to stay inside the boundaries and walls I carried with me. You touched all of me, and we walked outside the lines together. I don't know that I'm gonna cry, but fuck. See, now I only do one. Can you imagine a whole spread of these? I'd be doing a lot of like reading through the book, but we'd all be in fucking tears. So let's do our overview, shall we? Say it with me. Magic clap. Boom. All right, we've got this divine feminine warrior archetype to refresh your memory. Excuse me, the shadow attribute, the lead. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Horrible, narcissistic, toxic, and has been running the world for thousands of years. The light attribute, the gold that we're shooting for the divine feminine in this contract. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, which means toughness of choice and decision, right? Having to make the hard choices. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, excuse me, in conquering the ego and the phlegm. So one more time, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. So what does she want? She wants this Sagittarian mutable fire transformation. She wants us to move on. She wants more rapid movement here. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. She wants expansion. She wants to enjoy. She wants to have fun. But she knows things have to transform. What has she got in the element of earth? She's got the Three of Flames, a loyalty to the divine, a loyalty to herself, a loyalty perhaps even to this divine masculine, but is really working on herself. So loyalty to herself first. At best, he's coming in third, and that's the way it's supposed to be. God first, then you, then friends, family, and lovers, and then work. Ask Ian Levansant from the book in the meantime. What's on her mind? Well, the Gemini energy is on her mind. So either thinking about someone with Gemini placement or just a lot of thoughts, a lot of mercurial, changing thoughts, a lot of thinking, mutable air. And remember, we've got Gemini and Sagittarius. They opposites in the zodiacal wheel. So it might be like, I very, very much want this, but then overthinking the fuck out of it. But that they are complementary opposites. It's air and fire, not fire and water, for example. And what's going on in her emotional field? The Phoenix, rising from the ashes, doing her own transformation, transmutation, and purifying by fire her own emotional body. And Lord knows I do that. Loving what rises and all of this stuff, you might as well call it emotional exorcism. But extremely necessary for our own emotional healing, which affects everything else. And the overlighting overview here, the card of spirit, we've got celebration, something is revealed, the Judgment card. For the divine masculine lover archetype, to refresh your memory, shadow attribute. Obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Stalker, jealous, toxic, he's toxic, I'm spinning dirt. Sorry, Britney moment, I apologize, I am gay. Not that I'm gay, I apologize for the Britney. Breathe. Light attribute, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something, which is just lovely, because who doesn't like unbridled, healthy appreciation and adoration and devotion? What does he want? A new beginning. When does he want it? Later. Definitely with that Five of Wands, but we'll get there, right? The Ace of Wands, this new beginning, this new quest, this new journey to get the golden fleece, which might very well be about this divine feminine. She ain't no golden fleece, just don't try and fleece her, because she's the warrior. Bang, bang, she is the warrior. I love a good Patti Smythe flashback. What has he got? The star, right? Pandora, opening Pandora's box, everything flying out except hope, right? So he has the hope. He has divine guidance. He has found divine guidance. He has found a higher power. He has found the golden thread leading him through the labyrinth of his own stuff. And in his mental field, working on it, like working on his mind, thinking about working or working on his mind. That Eight of Pentacles is definitely about putting in the hard work. But the Five of Wands, emotionally conflicted, conflicting desires, you know, the ego and the true self, however you want to see. That's why, when does he want it? Nah, later. Later. Because in conflict about it. But with the Hierophant there, Chiron, the wounded healer, that this is all about a healing process for him. The whisper of love for the divine feminine is love endures. The whisper of love for the divine masculine, like attracts like. So it really feels like the divine feminine is just kind of like keeping the home fires burning, but transforming herself in those home fires, not home fries. That's a totally different thing, kind of, sorta. Like attracts like, that the divine masculine has to be more loving to himself, to others around him, to really get that love is the answer here if he wants more love in his life, to get ready before approaching this divine feminine. Because look, this is a soulmate contract. There are going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be arguments. But soulmate contracts, it always works out somehow, right? It always works out somehow. And there's a constant evolution through healing, through the power of divine love. And oh my God, with this Her Grace card, this journey of love, that there is definitely there's grace at work here, that the divine feminine is working through both the masculine, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine here, preparing them to bring them together into sacred union. The when is not shown. Is there anything overtly romantic sexual here? Well, I would say that Lover card, I'm sorry, the Warrior and the Lover, that is just one of the most ancient archetypal couplings, but that this is a soulmate. You guys have the opportunity to help each other heal here, but it feels like you're both going through your own healing process. The divine feminine with that Phoenix card, the Death card in the water element, and the divine masculine with that Hierophant in the spirit element. So, my Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this soulmate contract for November-ish, etc. This is really kick-ass powerful, but has its trickiness. I mean, there's a lot of major arcana. I don't know, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 major arcana cards, but they're the Star, the Death card, Judgment, and the Hierophant. There's just a lot of transformation, a lot of healing going here, and that's what soulmate contracts are about. So please take what resonates on this. Please do like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification buttons, and please tell me how this plays out in your life in the comments below. Otherwise, this work is very much like you see the pattern, but you don't get to find out what happens next, right? Until the next reading. And then sometimes you're reading a totally different collective. So here, we'll end with this. May the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contracts be blessed with all that they need for the month of November 2019 and beyond, that they may grow, that they may help each other heal, that they may evolve, that they may become the best that they can be and serve their true purpose in the divine plan for the well-being of all. And so it is. Breathe. Thank you so much for watching, and for now, my beloved Virgo brothers, sisters, this should be our secret handshake. Cross your legs, Virgo. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.